Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Waffle Press TV Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today, I have Emily Sophia. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty delightfully. It's been a good week, been a busy week. I got a promotion and I got over 10,000 subscribers on my channel. So it
Yay!
has been a week and a rather good one. So I'm
I did
doing
not
well.
I did not know that, so congratulations to you.
Thank you. Yes, it just kind of snuck right up, but milestones and
hmm
all that business. It's good
Yeah,
fun.
that's really cool. I mean, that's we got a lot of good news this week then because no, I guess we should start off with the bad news. Let's get this out of the
Okay,
way.
bad news first.
Uh, yeah, Agent Carter is no longer with us, and it doesn't look like she'll be coming back anywhere ever in the history of existence. So that's really disappointing. I didn't think season two was as good as season one, but I thought it was
hmm
fun and possibly even more entertaining to watch. And you know, I liked having Peggy Carter around because that's such a great character. And
Yep.
Haley Atwell is an angel, and now it's over.
Yeah. It's I was so devastated to hear about it. I mean, I kind of knew that it was coming, just judging by the ratings, judging by all the whisperings in the wind. It seems like it was pretty inevitable that a negative decision would be reached. But it's like you said, having Peggy Carter in my TV life was so uplifting. It was such a positive and empowering and fun and sometimes campy show. And I think that a lot of people are really critical of Marvel's network television outings. There's been a lot of critical acclaim for what they've got going on platforms like Netflix with Jessica Jones and Daredevil and all that good jazz. And so it almost seems like there's kind of this growing divide where the only viable project that Marvel has on network TV right now is Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has become incredible and it stands on its own 2 feet. Lots of lovable characters and there's a pretty dedicated fan base, but it's tough to. I mean, there was nothing quite like Agent Carter airing, like
Yeah.
she was pretty much on a stage all her own. Haley Atwell absolutely rocked that role, and just every time that I got to see her, my heart skipped a beat. She was great, and I wish Haley all the success in all of her future endeavors, and it sounds like she's on a new show of some kind. I don't know what it is, but it really does suck. I had a great time reviewing the show with you and just getting to watch it myself. It was a very pleasurable experience, and I wish that there could be more.
Yeah.
So,
I hope that somehow maybe Netflix could pick it up, but I
mhm.
think because Agent Carter is specifically more tied in with the movies, which is odd because it
Yeah,
takes place in the past.
right.
That was like a branch of the film division. Like Kevin Feige himself was involved with the creation and making of that show at points.
hmm
So I thought for sure like that one would be safe, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge bummer, and I hope
hmm
that at least I guess a quick spoiler for Civil War.
hmm
She's not even in that anymore because she's old and she died.
I know.
Uh,
It's so now it's just a double whammy. That's just a double-edged sword. Like, oh, go to the movies and this happens, and oh no, and then she doesn't get her show, and so it just like the Peggy of the present and the Peggy of the past have both eluded us now, and I hate that.
yeah, but you know what? I think Peggy Carter said it best, where she said she knows her value, and I think fans of the show knew it too. So we can always hold on to that and treasure that.
Yes, that I do.
Yeah. So let's move on to happier topics. On the other side of superhero TV, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, which I am super behind on. Even though I liked it, I just got behind. Will be joined by Supergirl next season, and they're all going to keep their regular time slots. So it'll be 4 days of TCTV, and I am just like giggling in anticipation at what's going to happen. The only negative thing to that is that Supergirl is probably losing Callista Flockhart because she is expensive, and CW does not have CBS money because they don't have CBS numbers. So like 7 million for Supergirl on CBS is like bad, but on CW that's like the highest rated show they'd ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's so weird how TV works now.
I know.
I like how Netflix their programming they judge it based on like what's trending and what people are talking about instead of viewership, which I think is probably going to be the way of the future. So I have mixed feelings about that a little bit, but yay, Supergirl, because that was almost on the risk of joining Agent Carter. And,
we need our super ladies. Don't let them go.
Exactly. There we go. We've still got officially we have Quake now in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
I'm very happy we got to toss in that name finally. And of course we'll have Leslie Jones, but you know what? You can never have too many. So it is a bummer to see one of the most powerful female characters in TV go. Yeah. I'm never getting over that. But we move on, and now we're going to talk about some TV episodes. So, Emily, we are going to start off with The Last Man on Earth season finale and some other episode discussions.
Yes.
This is a very sad way to end out the season, in a good way, because this show really doesn't pull punches with the emotional stuff. That's what makes it really compelling, even when it's not being funny. That's wrong I'm going to phrase it, because it's still funny. Yeah. It's just, it has a really good handle on those tone consistency stuff. As a whole, the episodes kind of blended together for me because I've been so busy. But as a whole, I want to say that The Last Man on Earth season 2 is a remarkable improvement over the really weak stuff in the middle of the first season.
Yep.
And it ended on such a remarkably melancholy note. I cannot believe this show. I never expected this from this show at all.
I know. I'm absolutely flabbergasted because I kept thinking back to those scenes where we got little glimpses of Mike off in outer space, and as he's grappling with his own existence and his loneliness and solitude, and he comes crashing down to Earth and he finds his brother and they're reunited, and then it only gets more and more emotional from there. Like the last 2 episodes were both extremely poignant and dark and real, and kind of in forcing Phil to own up to what was going on with his brother, they forced us to own up to the same thing and to remember, that this isn't just a post-apocalyptic ensemble comedy. Like, there are definitely elements of tragedy here and things that we don't even fully understand about their universe, and whether or not it's the disease that he is dying from and how all of that works. And now there's this, everybody's on edge and there's panic and they're setting things up for a pretty crazy season opener next time around. But yeah, no, I cried during the last 2 episodes. I believe it was very, very intense. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was really emotional. I didn't cry, but I was choking up quite a bit. The dynamic with those characters, they're brothers, but you believe it, and you believe the bonds that all these people have. Like, they're not just putting up with each other anymore. They are. Everyone in the show is like one big family. I wouldn't say one big happy family all the time, but they all need each other. And Phil has to let go of someone in his initial family, his flesh and blood, and that is it's heartbreaking. There was an interview where someone asked Will Forte if his brother would be back, and he said, unless there's a really good reason, I'm paraphrasing here, but unless there's a really good reason to bring out that character again and do more with the story, then they're not going to bring him back, probably, which I understand. And yeah, you don't want to lessen the impact of something like this,
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, this show is the best. I think
I know.
it might be my favorite post-apocalyptic show that I watch at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, yeah, Emmys, pay attention to this. Give this awards, please.
Yes. And it's crazy to see too how the juxtaposition of Phil losing his brother, we get that contrasted with the pregnancies in their little community, and how like there is life on the horizon and this give and take. I mean, of course, now Crazy Boatman and his marauders are coming ashore with
Hmm.
weapons, and everything seems a little bit uncertain right now. But yeah, it's that contrast between life and death, and it's this very tenuous line that the show walks, but it's able to crack jokes about that, and in the midst of that and around that, and it's just such a multifaceted and wonderful comedy that makes me laugh and cry, and I feel very much in touch and in tune with pretty much all the characters, and to see Phil's transformation has been really really cool too. And we actually get to see, we've seen the depths of his selfishness, but we've also gotten to see the other side of him, his selfless nature, when he's pouring out everything for his brother and journeying all the way back to their childhood home, and trying and even all of the stupid pranks that he pulls is trying to just make light of the situation, because he wants to make Mike happy, and he doesn't want to come to grips with the loss either. And so they just it was all really touching and really well done. And I'm impressed and nervous like I always am with this show, but it's an exciting balance. It always is.
Yeah, and I have no idea what to make with. I can't remember the crazy boatman's name, but I'm just gonna call him that from now on too.
Yep.
The actor's name is Mark Boone, I believe. Really fun
Yes.
character actor. I
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing they're gonna go into more like Walking Dead governor territory, but like obviously not that dark. Like I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be funny because that guy, he was a little intimidating, but he's really funny too. I didn't know this actor had
Mm-hmm.
that like that comedic timing that's really essential to something like this. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see, first of all, where those other guys came from,
Right.
because I guess more people are immune to the virus. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was kind of implied along the way, but I
Sure.
really like to see this community expand. Like we're expecting
Mm-hmm.
conflict, but
Yeah.
it'd be really nice to see, as the characters expect conflict, probably like some
Mm-hmm.
different sort of resolution. And
Yeah, and it's interesting to kind of see how they're setting everything up, because with Mike falling ill, all of the sudden we see where people's loyalties really lie. Like with Melissa, she's on the extremist, like militant side of the spectrum, where it's like we are all that matters. We are the world, and I don't want a part of anybody's business. Anybody who's going to be sending freaking drones to spy on us, and like when she shoots that thing out of the sky, it's like, oh my god. But so yeah, you've got people like Melissa who are like, nope, sorry, community's closed. We need to deal with our own stuff. We need to be together. We need to just keep going. And then you have people like Carol, who is finally getting to bring this new life into the world, who wants to see the best in everybody. And now we've got these new people coming into the mix with questionable intentions, and yeah, so it's like losing Mike and now opening the door to potentially enemies is like, whoa, this is a powder keg here. Something's gonna explode. Um, but yeah, there's gonna be, I think, a really big emotional range for all the characters next season for sure.
yeah,
So
any final thoughts besides that?
I think that's just about it. I mean, incredible to see how the show has turned around. We talked a lot about the faults of the first season, and I really like to reflect on how far a show has come, and I think that The Last Man on Earth has been really fabulous and on the up and up and continuing to progress and evolve. So makes me happy. I'm still really sad about it, and it's finale season right now, and lots of people are doing sad finales, so I'm a little compromised, but it's good stuff.
Oh, yes, I totally apologize. You were supposed to
Oh,
discuss Bates Motel.
that's totally fine. I could slip it in at the end. I could say something now. It's
Yeah,
totally up to you.
yeah, go ahead. All I want to say really quickly for Last Man is that I really like, in the overall picture, the first season is about Phil becoming a good person, and then the
Hmm.
second season is about who he is as a person, like, entirely. Like,
Yeah,
they're very broad arcs. You know, it's not really like he doesn't change that much in the second season, but the character stuff for Phil is so well done, and these writers really know how to like get introspective with Phil or Tandy, Phil, whatever you
yeah.
want to call him. Yeah, I've really come to love that character and his surrogate family. So I cannot wait for season 3.
Yes. Yeah, so I guess I will say a quick thing about another finale of a show in a very different genre. I saw the Bates Motel season 4 finale, which is pretty much hurtling us into the end game for season 5, which has in fact been confirmed as the last season for the show. I think that they renewed the show for 2 seasons, with those 2 being the last ones. And it's officially been announced that yes, the show is going to go into full psycho territory with the characters that we have here. And it's all very different and exciting, of course, because we have a younger Norman Bates. We have a very different perspective on his relationship with his mother and how that's evolved, and who he is as a person, who Mother, the persona of Mother is in his mind. And it's super cool that they're going to be taking on this iconic story in their own way, and I think that they are fully capable of doing a real number on us. But yeah, amazing finale. This was another end of a season where the emotional intensity was ramped up to infinity. It was really, really tough stuff, but super gratifying. Great storytelling. Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore continue to be the ultimate TV power duo, and because of them, I cannot recommend this show highly enough, and definitely encourage any of you who have seen the show before and are behind to catch up or to check it out. So many shows in the world, but this one is well worth it, and I think it's going to end on a major high note. So that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I gotta watch it now because it just reminds me of the way Hannibal played out, and now I'm getting really nostalgic.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that on my list for this summer.
It's a good one. If you want a little something dark and macabre in your summer lineup, then this is a really good one. And it continuously gets better, by the way. So.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's some other shows I tried watching, and they kind of lean off into, they dip into quality as they go on. You know, like I think Dexter is probably the big one we can both relate to.
I can barely talk about it to this day. It's prime example.
I feared Game of Thrones was going to head that way after last season. However, this season proved not to be the case. And yes, that was a segue that I am very happy with.
Very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. Yeah, but no. Keep up with your reviews of the show while we've been away from the Waffle Press.
Oh, that is fine.
So, yes, I will let you go ahead because I haven't known your thoughts. What do you think about the season of Game of Thrones so far? We're on episode 4 now, I believe.
I think so. I think we're 3 going into 4. No, I don't know. I don't remember. I was like gone for a week, and now I don't know numbers anymore. But we are getting close to mid-season, and I love this season. It's been really, really strong on a lot of fronts. There's a lot of characters that are gearing up to make major comebacks. I know in my latest review of the last episode, I think it's called Book of the Stranger, I'm pretty sure. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I ended up talking a lot about these like sibling duos across Westeros that are going on, like of course, and all the spoilers and all the good jazz. But finally getting to see characters like Sansa and Jon Snow come together and be like, "Yo, we got to take back the North." Because a certain little somebody who likes to murderize people has got our little brother, and everything is wrong, and we can combine our powers and get this done. So you've got that going on. You've even got Theon. I'm not going to call him Reek because I do not view him as such anymore. But you have Theon and Yara back on the Iron Islands, and apparently Theon is going to try and help Yara take the throne. We have Jaime and Cersei Lannister, who are trying to stage a coup against the Faith Militant, and like there's all these like all this power couples going on. And then there's like Dany, who is just like bow down, and that's incredible stuff. Very exciting for her, but yeah, there's just a lot of momentum. I think that things are about to reach a pretty huge fever pitch soon. Yeah, generally, I feel pretty positive about everything and very excited. It's very like everything feels reinvigorated, and it's felt that way since I think the very first episode. And for me, there hasn't been a dip in my fervor at all yet. So that's where I'm at. But what about you?
It's great. It's really, really good. If this keeps up, this has the potential to be one of the strongest seasons, if not the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
They are just burning through plot in the best way possible, because Arrow season 3 burned through like 8 seasons worth of plot, and that was not good. But this is, because all last season everything was very slow and quite dumb at times. Like, I guess I could just call it that.
Yep.
I want to mention a quick negative really quickly, and it's only minor.
Sure.
My friends over at Stark Contrast at moviefail.com, Josh and Soren, both, I think they both agree with this, that Ramsay Bolton, he is, I mean, obviously he's like the biggest monster Game of Thrones has. Like, I think Joffrey was more dangerous because he's legitimately crazy. Ramsay knows how to do stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess there's a good argument there for either one. But he's too much at times. Like, we get how evil he is. And I don't know if I fully agree with we don't need the character at all. But I think sometimes scenes linger with him too long. Like, when he feeds his father's wife and newborn baby brother to the dogs. Like, we don't need to spend 2 minutes with him walking them through there. Like, we know what's going to happen as soon as they start heading towards there.
Yeah, it's like they could have pulled the camera away much sooner, and I think it would have had the same impact because we know the character. So they don't have to linger in his violence for us to believe that he's doing abhorrent things.
Yeah.
So.
And then the same thing happened with this recent episode when we got reintroduced to Rickon and Osha.
Oh, and Osha. Yeah, that made me really mad as well.
Yeah. But I will say that was at least a well choreographed way to establish that, because we're like, oh, we know what she's going to do because she's done this before.
Yep.
You don't have to show her like coughing for life as she bleeds out on the floor.
Yeah.
What they could have done, again, with like just like the dog scene, less is more with these guys, you know? He just, when she reaches over for the knife, you cut away, and then he walks out of the room covered in blood, and then his guard would be like, what happened? He'd be like, oh, just a like minor circumstance, just nothing to worry about, you know? Because less is more. We know how creepy he is. You don't need to keep selling it. You know, it's overselling
Yeah,
at
it's
this
like
point.
we've seen with all the torture shit that went down in seasons past. It's like, yeah, we get it now. And even like with the come and see letter that he sent to the Lord Commander at Castle Black, it's like, yeah, keep going. Like, we know already. Come on, bro. Have a little. Do you think you're overcompensating a bit? Because we really don't care. We hate you, and we know you're the worst. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is a valid complaint for sure.
And I like that you mentioned that he's overcompensating, because I think that is the character. That's why he's like, he
That's who he
lashes out like
is.
that. Yeah, but again, it's too much. You know, just restrain that a little
Yeah.
bit, and you got a
Yeah.
pretty tightly knit little season. Because Jon Snow's back, which is great, and we all kind of called it. But this is one of the
Mm-hmm.
good things that you call the use of the wildlings and the whole
Yes.
political stuff with Castle Black. Jon Snow died. He doesn't want to be Lord Commander because he failed, because he
Mm-hmm.
died. That has an effect. That has an impact on someone. You know,
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
I've never died, but if I did when I was trying to accomplish something that big of a task, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I'm not the guy for the job.
I think that's fair.
Sansa and Jon Snow meeting, and it's just so happy. Like, you're just happy.
Mm-hmm.
They're letting you be happy, which is great, because they don't need to sucker punch you with anything, you know,
Yep.
because then it gets cheap. And I think that was a big problem with last year as well. And they've
Mm-hmm.
really gotten good at earning these moments. And we're totally in the Act 3 of Game of Thrones, where everything's just
Yep.
coming together for these big, large conclusions, and characters are interacting. Dany's story is
Mm-hmm.
interesting again. Of
Yeah.
everything is really worth paying attention to now. Even Arya,
Mm-hmm.
her stuff is moving way faster than last season, because now she's actually accomplishing stuff instead of not.
Yes. She's actually getting further into her training instead of using the training to pursue what she wants. She's like, okay, I'm in now. I won't kill nobody I ain't supposed to. Or a girl shall not kill outside of whatever.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, like, should we just stop calling her? We just call her a girl, because the girl has no
Hmm.
name.
That's
I don't know if I'm actually
true.
gonna stop doing that.
I
I feel
love,
like as a collective fan base, we should.
yeah, I love the name Arya. It's so lyrical. It just rolls off the tongue. So I know it would be hard for me to stop using that name, but I do like the idea of adapting the language that she has to take on now, because that's who she's becoming. So it's pretty crazy stuff. But
Yeah, it's so good. I'm like so in love with this season. It's crazy.
yeah, it's momentous, and of course, with the last episode ending on the note of Dany completely destroying everyone, and then she gets like her Lion King circle of life moment where like everybody's bowing down before her was so satisfying. I mean, she could use a big win at this point. I'm curious as to what path she's going to take now, because of course Tyrion is trying to take the diplomatic approach and has this 7-year plan to ending slavery and replacing it with something better. And it's like, how is all of this going to balance out? You know, is Dany going to return to Meereen? Is she going to march to Westeros? And so there's some big moving and shaking going on in her territory as well. But
Mm-hmm.
it's very exciting too.
Yeah, just a couple more quick things. I think Tyrion's plan would be great if he was in Westeros, but he is not, and he
Yes.
doesn't know how these guys deal. Like, I like that Missandei calls him out immediately when he's like, "I know how slavers work, and I was a slave, whatever." Like, again, I'm
Slay.
paraphrasing, but he was a slave for like a minute,
Yeah,
and
one hot
so
second.
I think he's a little overconfident, or like a lot overconfident.
Mm-hmm.
But that stuff's it's interesting. It's not dumb. It's a character flaw, but it
Yeah.
leads you to interesting storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And oh yeah, the Iron Island stuff. I think if anything, that might be the weak link for me, but it's still
Sure.
intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weak link in the sense that this one's weaker than the other really good stuff.
Yeah, it feels kind of peripheral at this point. And hey, at least it's not Dorn.
Yeah,
As that
there we
is
go. There's a reason
the
they haven't
real
shown us
shit
that.
show. Oh
Oh
man.
yes, and final one. Bran is
Mm-hmm.
I love this character a lot now. And his vision quest, I guess we'll call it,
Mm-hmm.
has clearly been it's clearly going to reveal who Jon Snow's true parent is,
Oh
or
yeah.
true mother.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, everyone called this on the internet like however long ago, but
Yeah.
it's still cool. This is another good thing. It's not just predictable. It's good storytelling that leads you down this path. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that revelation. I don't know if they needed to cut away before giving us that revelation at the Tower of Joy
Right.
flashback, but it's cool. So
Yeah, yeah. No, it's still pretty rad because that stuff is all like Inception level because Bran is kind of at the point where it's like, is he gonna tweak something in the timeline here? Is he just here to observe and learn, or is he going to trespass on the past? You know, and so there's this. I have no idea what's going to happen there, and I love it. Like you said, it doesn't all just feel predictable and inevitable. It's impossible to say who's going to come out on top at this point. And you know, when the show does finally reach its end, like how are we going to look back at everything and try and see where it was all leading? At this point, we can't tell because we're in the thick of it. But they're doing a damn fine job of getting us hooked and giving formerly powerless characters a lot more agency, and things seem to be going in a good place. So that's how I feel.
yeah, go Sansa.
Woo!
Okay.
That's my girl.
Oh yes, no, she doesn't. If she survives this show, I will cry forever, tears of joy, and if she doesn't, I will never talk to
Yes.
anybody ever again.
Yep.
But in other finale news, that was not a finale of Game of Thrones, but we were talking about one
Yes.
earlier, and I didn't have a good segue for this one. Don't judge me.
It's a fake segue. It's like,
Agents
guess
of
what this is not about.
yeah, pretty much. Agents of Shield season 3 finale. I guess well because we kind of dipped out on the last couple episodes, not out of interest, just
Right.
time. And the arc was called Fallen Agent, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, I thought it was referring to Daisy being a fallen agent because she was under the sway of Hive.
That's what I thought
And I was
too.
like, yeah, and I was like, oh no, duh! They just said like they're gonna kill someone off.
Yep.
So yeah, this last little round of arcs really ends the season on a very good note for me.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. I don't think it's as strong as the season 2 finale. I think overall, actually, season 2 might be the stronger season.
Mm-hmm.
But there's higher highs, I think, in individual spots here and there, and lower lows. Oh, I totally forgot to mention Marvel's Most Wanted is not happening with the Agent Carter news.
Oh yeah, because they it didn't get picked up.
Yep. So I guess
Yeah.
just that'd be really cool if they had their pilot episode as a standalone episode,
Mm-hmm.
Agents of Shield, and then they just worked that
They come
stuff
back.
into the heart of the show. Yeah, you know, like they bring them back in, like you are not going to believe what we just happened, or like what just
Mm-hmm.
happened to us, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just bring that in, and you could add all the stuff you were going to add from that show into Shield because it kind of sounded similar, anyways. So
Right.
why not?
Yeah. Yep.
But as for the season finale, I have strong feelings about who they killed off because I think they killed off the exact people they needed to.
Yes.
We were not fans of Lincoln very much here, so but I thought his death was very well handled. I didn't get emotional per se, but
Sure.
there's just to jump to the end, the scene with him and Hive just looking out at the earth. They're not fighting anymore. They're just waiting for death, and they're just looking out like, wow, this is so it looks so small. Like it's just a small little moment before they get blown to nothingness, and that was really touching. I wish I liked that character more. That would have probably broken me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same place. Like, I think that I actually was able to feel a little something in losing him because, Daisy was on this war path of like, it's me, it has to be me. And then when he took the burden of her accepting her impending doom, when Lincoln swooped in and was like, no, you don't have to make that choice. I'm going to make this choice. Like it turned out to be very powerful in a way that I couldn't have expected. And it was interesting to see how over the course of the final 2 episodes, there was a lot of manipulation because we got to see what the moment looked like in Daisy's head, and knowing that there was going to be a shield jacket and this cross necklace. And so having that imagery whenever somebody had the jacket and the necklace and you're like, duh! I was convinced. I think towards the end of the first of the 2 finale episodes, I was convinced it was going to be Fitz. I'm glad that I'm wrong, because finally Fitz and Simmons get to stop being so miserable and be happy together, maybe. But yeah, I think that of all the ways to deal with Lincoln, he was kind of an outsider, kind of moody and weird and stupid a lot of the times. But having him do something meaningful in the sacrificial way, and then even pairing that with Hive's death, turned out to be super cool and very subdued. And actually, like, they didn't show the moment where like they exploded. We just immediately went back to the team and how everybody was breaking down, realizing what happened. The only major complaint that I have is that they cut away really, really quickly and all of a sudden just launched 6 months into the future. Like, I feel like if they just let things kind of resonate for maybe like a couple seconds longer, it wouldn't have felt so weird. But I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like, clearly they're trying to show us what the next season is going to look like. It just felt a little weird for a second.
No, it totally felt weird.
Okay, so I'm not wrong
like
there. I was like,
yeah, no.
whoa, what you doing? Who's where and why? And Daisy, why'd you dye your hair? And who? There was a lot of questions. But yeah, I see what they were trying to do. It just felt it didn't really fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awkward. That was literally just like sitting in the editing room, like, okay, we want to hint at next season. Are you sure you want to do that? You can't just leave it as like a bonus feature on the Blu-ray? No, I'm just starting. I feel like you could. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it almost felt a little heavy-handed because we see, like, Daisy goes from crying her eyes out and she's feeling so guilty, and we know that she's in a really dark place, to, like, boom, I'm going rogue, I'm doing what I want. And, like, I mean, yeah, I guess that you could see this as the next logical step, but it was just so jarring because there was, like, no recovery time. It's just like, oh, and by the way, she's gone, and we're chasing after her. So it felt a little irreverent, I guess. But what were you going to say?
Do you remember that Days of Future Past trailer? Like, I think it was like one of the last ones where Wolverine's like, patience isn't my strongest suit. And then like in the middle of the word suit, it cuts to him screaming, and it's like, whoa! Like, what happened there? That felt like that, but for this episode at the end.
Yes. Yeah, no, it totally felt like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup, and then Coulson is not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. Which,
right.
Like, there's interesting stuff happening there, but the way it's like, it doesn't work. So,
yeah.
I wish it ended on a stronger final note.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff there is interesting, so I'm not worried. I just didn't like the way it was handled.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. It's like, it's one of those TV obligation things where they want to make sure that they retain your interest, I guess, instead of just letting the story move along naturally. That is kind of a problem that shows run into, is that desire to be like, and next year on this show. Like, that's kind of what it is. It's like their trailer for next time. But I don't think that they need to do that, but they did. So
yeah, I wish more shows took the Hannibal route, where they leave just enough ambiguous for next season, so you can get
Yeah.
a feeling, or you don't even know. Like season 3 of Hannibal, that ended up being the
Hmm.
series finale for now.
Yeah.
Uh, Worked as a series finale, and you have no idea what they could do next, but you
Yeah.
know they have stuff planned. I
Hmm.
think too many shows rely on cliffhangers. Not everything can be
Yeah.
lost.
Hmm.
Fine, every show needs to do something different, and I think you had a decent cliffhanger in this finale,
Yeah.
but that wasn't it. So,
Right.
I mean, everything else I
Yeah.
really like though, and yeah, I was scared shitless that Fitz was gonna die. I was like, "Don't do this
Yeah.
to me." Yeah, that scared the shit out of me. But no, they get a happy ending,
Hmm.
and I really like John Hannah. I'm a big fan of the really schlocky Brendan Fraser Mummy movie, and John Hannah has been like one of my favorite actors because of that movie.
Hmm.
It's not even like that great, but I love watching it and I love him in it. So whenever I see him
Yes.
pop up in something, I'm like, yeah, Jonathan. And now I guess he's going to be a recurring part of the show, if not
Hmm.
in the show. So this is like
Yeah.
this is a dream come true. Marvel and mummies coming together. Oh my god, he's like building like I mean robots are basically the new mummies, so this I'm
Right.
like doing some
Right.
like super mental gymnastics for this one, but just work with me.
Yeah, no, I like his character because he kind of reminds me of the weird, kooky Kyle MacLachlan era in the show that I miss so
Oh
much. And
yeah.
so, yeah, so every time, like, Radcliffe was constantly in this state of, like, half peril, half perfectionism. Like, he has to create these atrocities so he doesn't get dead, but he doesn't. He's a very interesting character. You can tell that not a lot of people like him. They don't hate him, but they're kind of on board with him. And he's just sort of like, I do what I want. So now he's making, what was it called? Life model decoys or something? Is
Yeah,
the
life model decoys.
Yes, yes. So that is now also a thing that's going to be in the show's future, in addition to Quake running around and creating seismic activity.
Mhm. See,
But
like, yeah, like that stuff's really interesting. Like, she goes rogue from Shield, and she's
yeah,
gonna be a superhero by herself.
yeah.
But you know, don't just throw us into that. I'd like to see some build up to that, or if you open the season with that next time, it's like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah,
And you
that
can do
would have been
flashbacks.
perfect.
Hmm.
Perfect beginning of next season's episode, not dovetailing off of the end where we just have these two pretty major deaths. It's like just kind of let the dust settle a little bit. In other news, I think that this show got a lot of good mileage out of Brett Dalton, and I will miss him in the show. But it was a good way to go, I think, and I don't really see how they could have kept him any longer. So, adieu to you, sir. It's been lovely to have you as the horrible, awful villain for 2 seasons.
Yeah, that guy really grew on me ever since he got the villain reveal in season 1.
Yep.
I finally understood, like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing with him.
Yes.
Yeah, he will be missed because this season of
Yeah.
he got to play Grant Ward we all know, love, and love to hate, and then he got to
Mm-hmm.
play an alien invader monster thing that looks like Cthulhu.
Yes.
So also really really good CGI on that alien makeup.
That was
That was
quite a
cool.
bit better than stuff they've done before.
Oh my god,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like when you think about, think about Kyle MacLachlan's villain reveal and how completely underwhelming and silly that was. And that wasn't even CGI so much as it was like just a not great costume. But it
Hmm.
was cool. I was like, I didn't feel like I had to look away to like, preserve myself. Just like, oh, it doesn't look good. But I was able to look and be like, oh, there he is. It looks like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Yeah. Oh my god.
So then I had to laugh because he didn't look stupid. It just was indicative of another character I know with tentacle
Hmm.
face. So
Yeah,
You
he
know.
didn't kill anybody with the weird tentacle porn, I guess, like in Pirates of the Caribbean 3, though.
Yeah, come on now.
So I mean, it's only it's a sort of a win-lose situation.
Yeah. And it was interesting how we got to say goodbye to him too, because even though we saw, like, the face of Ward and the character of Hive, when Lincoln kind of attacked him with the electromagnetic whatever, he had kind of this breakdown where all of a sudden Hive was kind of assimilating with and retreating into Ward's memories, and so that was kind of a cool homage to a character that we know so well, and kind of gives us some insight into how he was harboring these different people, especially Ward. So it was pretty cool. I appreciated it.
Yeah, that was a really nice way to send off Brett Dalton as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been such an integral part of the show for 3 seasons now. I'm really interested
Yes.
to see how they fill that gap, or if they just do something else entirely. Either
Mm-hmm.
way, I'm excited, and yeah, the use of the flashbacks, good way to send off the actor and the characters.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, do you have anything else you'd like to add to this week's episode?
I think we just about hit everything. It took us about an hour, but we got it done.
All right, I think it's the longest episode in a while, because we had like, how many episodes if you tally it all up together?
Oh, I feel like we must have missed like 5 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
I don't even know. So this was necessary. Good to debrief and decompress, and it's kind of nice now that a lot of shows are going into hiatus, because, it can kind of... There will be just a couple shows running into the future, but... maybe we can respectively get into the series that we have not been able to get into yet. We'll see what happens. I still got iZombie and all that good stuff on my radar, so I'm so busy.
We'll see what happens. For right now, Emily, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at MMightySophia. It's EM, the word mighty, SOFIA, which is also my Facebook and also my Twitter. Twitter and YouTube are kind of my big hubs right now. But yeah, so I've been reviewing, just wrapped my reviews of Bates Motel, reviewing Game of Thrones, and a whole bunch of other stuff is coming down the pipes. I'm probably going to start watching Preacher. I'm at least going to watch the premiere and go based off of that. But yeah, lots of TV talk over at my channel too. So, and you can tweet me. So that's where you can find me.
Yes, and we'll probably be talking about Preacher on here. Fingers crossed it's good, because I have not positive feelings about the initial comic, but we'll see how it works out. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at DagoWaffles, at the Waffle Press on YouTube. If you like this video, like, subscribe. If you didn't like it, subscribe anyways, because you might find something to do. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll miss Agent Carter. We have been professionally unprofessional.